welcome back to my channel. I am really excited, but I'm also very nervous to film this video. I have a couple disclaimers that I want to throw at you guys. First one being everything that I'm about to talk about. I want to just share that these are things that I strive for every single day. Some days I'm able to get everything on my list that I'm about to talk about done, and it goes off without a hitch. Other days, more than most, I can only get a couple of these things done. I don't want y'all to think that I'm coming on here saying that I am the perfect wife, that I am better than you, that our marriage is perfect or anything like that, because honestly, there is no marriage that is perfect. And I really, really want to emphasize that these are things that I strive for every day, and that sometimes they don't happen. But my goal is for them to happen. Another thing that I really wanted to hit on is a lot of the things that I'm about to talk about might offend some people because of the culture that we are in, is such a strong-willed, everyone's equal, everyone, and that's great and everything, but that's not how it works in our home, and that is all that I'm sharing. All I'm sharing is what works for our home and what has been working for our home. So that is what I want you guys to keep in mind. Maybe ask the Lord to kind of let the Holy Spirit just wash over you and not take anything that I say as me judging or coming across wrong in any way, because that is definitely not my heart's intention. So let's get started on the video. The first thing that I do to serve my husband, that I strive to do to serve my husband, is have a clean home. And that means, that's very simple. I like for our home to be clean when he comes home from work. He works very hard days. And I really want him to be able to walk into his home and kind of, be able to breathe, and to not have to come into our home with a big mess. Again, it is not spotless every day. It is never really spotless, but it is not super clean every single day. But my goal and what I do strive for is for my husband to come home for it and see clean. I want him to be able to walk into the kitchen and not have to move all the dishes out of the way before he washes his hands. I say that because he's had to do that before. Another thing, like the living room right now has laundry all over the couch, but my goal is to have that done before he comes home. Those are just little things. The next thing I really, that kind of ties into the cleanness of your home is the laundry. I really take pride in my husband being able to go into his drawers and closet and just pick up the clothes that he wants to wear and not even have to have a second thought. And so with all that being said, clean laundry. I like for his laundry to be cleaned and put away. This is another thing on my list. Every single thing on this list is not done every single day. I really feel like I should be saying that more. Just whenever I say what I say, just know that it's something I strive for. Anyways, I try to have the laundry folded and put away before he comes home. Now, sometimes the laundry is folded and put on our bed for me to put away before we go to bed, but the end goal is still the same. I want the laundry to be folded and put away by the end of the day, just so that he doesn't have to worry about looking for clothes. Like his uniforms, for instance. He wakes up extremely early in the mornings for work, especially in the summer, and I want him to be able to find his uniforms easy, mainly because he doesn't turn the lights on, because Jackson sleeps in our room still, and he tries to be super quiet in the mornings, and so he knows exactly where his shirts and his pants are, his socks are, his clean underwear, socks, all of that is in the same spot, cleaned, already ready for him. The next thing I would like to touch on is cooking dinner. This is one of the things that I really had to pray about, that God would show me the joy in again, because I really feel, there was a time in my life where I stopped seeing the joy of cooking every single night, and I would rather just go out to eat or have him bring dinner home or whatever. But there is such pride in being in my kitchen and cooking my husband dinner. and being able to sit at our table and eat food that I cooked for him. Now, there are still times during the week where that'll happen, or we go somewhere else to eat. We go to his mom's, or we go to a friend's house for dinner or whatever. And on the weekends we tend to eat out more or whatever. But what I strive for is to start cooking in our home more, because there isn't a better feeling than having your husband say, "Wow, this was delicious. Like, this was so good. Thank you so much." Having that's just, I really, really, really thrive on that. So that is one of the things. Something that kind of ties in with that on my list is making him lunch for work. This is probably the one thing that I never do that I'm really trying to do better at is making his lunch. Now, that ties in again with dinner, so it's a lot easier to make him lunch when I've made dinner that night because I can just make him leftovers the next day. But I am really bad about that because our nights are so jam-packed with our nighttime routine with our 2 kids and dinner and cleaning up and everything that I do tend to forget to make his lunch. So that is something that I'm striving for to be better at. The next thing is our clean bedroom. I myself cannot be in our room when it is messy. If I didn't put the laundry away that day and it ends up in my dresser, I hate it. It is rough and I don't like it. So I've really been trying to make an effort on keeping our bedroom clean as well, because that is where my husband and I go at the end of the day, and we go to sleep there. And if your room is a mess, to me anyways, that is your sanctuary between you and your husband. And if it's not clean, then it's not a sanctuary. It's not peaceful. And I really have found that when our room is clean, it is easier to relax. It is easier to unwind. Jackson is in our room right now sleeping, like I mentioned before. So, there are more baby items and everything everywhere. But for the most part, I have been making more of an effort to keep that space especially clean. The next thing on my list is setting one-on-one time with my husband at the end of the day. Now that can be hard because between the 2 of us, we are so exhausted by the end of the day that we just want to be on our phones or have our own time, and that's okay. A lot of time my husband will have his own time while I'm putting Jackson to bed. We kind of have a really good routine, which I will do a separate video on. Comment down below if you would like to see that, our nighttime routine with 2 kids. I think we've got a really comfortable routine down. But anyways, at the end of the night, I have seen such a difference in our marriage when we are able to set aside our phones after the children go to bed and have time with each other. Whether that's sitting on the couch and having a conversation, or that is sitting on the couch and watching a show and eating Oreos with milk. Like, that is one of our favorite things to do right now in this season. And I mean, it is truly, truly, truly changed. And I know that sounds crazy, but I really feel that has changed our marriage, because having that time together where there's no other things to focus on, no kids, no housework, which you're able to do if your house is clean throughout the day. You're able to sit down and not think about housework. You're able to sit down and after the kids go to bed, and I know you're tired. I know, trust me, I'm tired. I get it. But it's so important. It is so important for your marriage. And it is one of the best ways, I think, to serve your husband is to give him one-on-one time. If you're in that season of life where you don't have kids, then that can come easier. But still, I mean, I remember before we had children, we had to make an effort. We had to be intentional about setting one-on-one time with each other. So, but if you do have children, then that becomes a lot harder. And even if it's 30 minutes at the end of the day before you both go to sleep, set that time. It is very important. Whether you do devotions, we also do devotions with each other during that time. We try to do that, and we're trying to be more intentional about doing that every night because that's very, very important. Okay, so now I want to touch on the not so obvious ways that I serve my husband. The first part of that is to just follow his leadership, okay? God puts your husband as the head of your marriage for a reason, and I don't want that role. I do not want to have all of that heaviness on my shoulders that is for my husband to bear with God. Like, no. But let me kind of explain what that means, because when I say follow his leadership and, he's the head of your marriage, I don't mean that he's your ruler and that he can just stomp all over you. And that's not what I'm saying. And when I say this, I solely mean a husband that is led by God, because when he is led by God, then he doesn't walk all over you. He doesn't rule you. He doesn't just say, you do this and you do it because I said so. He has the leadership of the Holy Spirit with him, and he has grace and love on the things that he does. And that's what makes it easier to follow his leadership. Now, there are days where I have, questioned his leadership and whatnot, but when I just take a step back and remember, like, he's the head, I am not, he's led by God, and I need to, follow in line with that, it's a lot easier. So I'm going to kind of explain what I mean by that. So in Ephesians 5:23, it says, "For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church." And I take so much pride in that. And because I'm also going to read a quote. Let me read a quote. So this is another quote that I got from the podcast, and I'm going to link that down below for you guys, because the way that they explain it and the things that they say on their own podcast, I really, really loved it. So I drew this quote out of their podcast. It says, it's a quote from Matthew Henry, and it says, "Eve wasn't taken out of Adam's head to talk or to rule over him, nor out of his feet to be trampled on by him, but out of his side to be equal with him, under his arm to be protected by him, and near his heart to be loved by him." Now, I take so much pride in knowing that when God created Eve for Adam, he took one of Adam's ribs out to make her. And I find that so beautiful, because he made Adam out of the dust of the earth. He made him out of nothing. He could have done that with Eve, but he wanted Eve to be a part of her husband. And so that is how he made her. And I just find so much joy in knowing that. So that is kind of what I mean by all of the headship and everything like that. If you don't quite understand, really ask God to help you understand and read your Bible a little bit more about that, because it really, truly is such a beautiful thing. If you have the revelation, it's a beautiful thing, and it's not in any way a weakness. A lot of people think that submitting to your husband is a weakness, like you're cowering down, and that's not what it is at all. In fact, there are so many different roles as a husband and as a wife. Nathan has his own roles in our marriage. He has his own things that he is accountable for. He is a husband. He is a dad. He is he's the headship of our marriage. He is the leader in this house. But as wives, we are the pastors of our home. We are here most of the time with these children, with your children if you have children, if that's the season that you're in. And if not, then you don't have to wait to pray for your home until you have children. Start now. If you're not married, start now. Start praying for your husband. That is still a service for your future husband. Pray now, so that when you become married, you already have such a strong armor around you of prayer for your marriage that I really feel your marriage will go a lot smoother. I didn't do that as much as I should have, which ties into my last point. But, there's so much strength in submitting to your husband. Nathan submits to me in different ways. It's a lot different than the way I submit to him, but there are a lot of ways that we submit to each other, and we both submit to God, and there is just so much strength in that. A lot of people, like I said before, find weakness in that, and that's not what it is at all. I really do think my light is dying. I'm sorry, guys. It's very cloudy today, so I'm really sorry about the lighting, but there is such a freedom, to say that I'm confident in who God made me to be, that I can submit to my husband, that I am confident in where God has me in my life, in my role as a mother, as a wife, as a homemaker, as a laundry washer, as a dinner cooker, as a cooker, as a cook, I'm confident in that. And I didn't used to be. In fact, a couple months ago, I wasn't. And I found it to be, I was looking everywhere else outside of my marriage to find happiness, to find peace, because I found my life wasn't what I wanted it to be. But when I finally, came under submission, I came under my headship of my husband and of God, I really do feel, yep, my light just died, so I'm really sorry about the lighting from here on out. Let me see if it'll turn back on. Okay, it's probably gonna die again. I can literally see it going down. So I'm really sorry about that. But anyways, I'm rambling. I'm happy. And I find so much joy in coming into my role as a wife and a mother and everything like that. So the last point and the biggest point on how I serve my husband is to pray for him. And if you don't take anything else out of this video except for this one thing, it is to pray for your husband. Because there are so many things in our everyday life, in our marriage, in whatever it is, they're out of my control. And as mothers, as wives, as women, we want to control and we want to mother. Whether you're a mother or not, that is in your nature. You want to mother, you want to fix things and to nurture things. That so much in life is out of our control, and you can really feel a lot of unsettledness, if that's a word, when we can't fix things. So the best thing to do is just pray about it. I'm reading this book. I'll see if I can link it down below. It has given me so much insight on how to be a better wife. It's called The Power of a Praying Wife. And I'm obsessed with that book, y'all. It has seriously taught me so much about myself, about my husband, about our marriage. I haven't read the whole thing, but it's awesome. So I'll link that down below for y'all. But anyways, that is just kind of what I've got. Those are a few ways that I serve my husband. So I really hope that you guys take some insight from that. I went to Instagram and asked y'all different ways that y'all serve your husband. And I wanted to share them with you guys, just a couple different things. The first response I got was, I serve my husband by supporting him in all of his decisions, keeping a clean house, and raising his daughter during the day while he's at work. Then when he gets home, it's all a team effort. I like that. I really, really like that. The next one I got was, I serve him by cooking, baking. He loves good food. I try to be the best homemaker I can for him and my daughter. I always try to have fresh made bed every day for after a long, hard day is at work. But honestly, I do feel like sometimes I fail in this department. And I want you, if you're watching this, to retrain your brain, because like I said in the beginning of this video, these are things that I strive for every day. They don't all get done every day. Sometimes the kids have a freak out. They don't nap. They don't let me do anything. Jackson wants to be held all day. Elena's in a bad mood. It just really depends on the day. So if you get one of those things done, if you get a cooked meal for him, you have already won 1,000 times over. The next one says, I serve my husband by covering him first in prayer. I always make sure his clothes are clean and put away. His dinner is ready when he gets home. He has worked hard to support us, and I feel this shows him that we appreciate it. That is huge. I feel the house being clean when he gets home. It creates a different atmosphere where he can come home from a stressful day and relax. I love that. I serve my husband with cooking, cleaning, making sure he knows that his needs are just as valuable as us, as he puts us first. I also help with taking care of our farm. Oh, I love that. By tending to the garden and putting up food, taking care of the kids, which they are all grown pretty much and doing their own thing now, and taking care of the animals on the farm. Even if that means that there is an animal to be slaughtered, that's not big like a cow, I will do that also. Also mowing and yard work and helping him relax on his days off. I love that. I serve my husband by keeping a clean house, making sure there's dinner every evening when he's home from work. He has the biggest sweet tooth, even more than me, so I like to surprise him some days and have a baked good for him. I try to pack a lunch for him the night before so he can just grab it and go on his way out in the morning for work. I like to keep worship music going in the house to create a peaceful atmosphere for when he gets home, making sure when he is sharing something on his heart that he feels listened to and valued. I love that. That is so important, to make sure that our husbands know that they are valued and that they are heard. As well it is for us, guys. We need to know that we are heard. One of the ways I serve my husband is just by getting up much earlier than I'd like to fix his lunch. We also like to surprise him at work and have lunch with him too. He loves it and we enjoy it too. Another way that I'm learning to serve him is to be honest with him. And I don't say that to mean I lie to him or keep the truth from him, but to actually be 100% honest with him in my feelings and thoughts, and to do that in a prayerful and respectful way. Praying with him and for him has always been something that has saved us many times over. I agree with that. I definitely feel like a failure in the serving him department being pregnant. I've always been very limited on things, and that frustrates me. It's almost like he is serving me as he tells me to get off a ladder or to put my feet up. He really steps up when I need his help, when he's home for the day or has days off early. I guess I could say I'm serving him and our baby by slowing down instead of exhausting my body. And that is something that a lot of women have a really hard time accepting, is that when you are pregnant, you are serving your husband, okay? That is another way to serve him, by having his children if you are able to. That is another way. So don't sell yourself short when you are pregnant. Don't sell yourself short, because that is a service in itself. We try and serve each other as best we can according to how the day is going. I feel like every day he enjoys different ways. I can make his life easier as he helps make mine easier. Sometimes the ways we can serve them is by letting them serve us. It raises them up in ways we can't understand. It's hard to slow down and to allow that to happen when you are used to doing it all for yourself. You go, mama. So those are just some of the ones that I saw that I wanted to share with you guys. So if that was one of your things, thank you so much for sharing that. Comment down below different ways that you serve your husband in your household, so it might inspire me or someone else in the comments, because this is a community thing, y'all. It is not easy, it is tiring, and you're not alone in this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really, really enjoyed filming this video for you. For y'all, it is my first sit down video, and I'm excited to start doing more of these with you guys instead of just vlog style. I love doing that as well. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Give it a big old thumbs up. Like I said, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear the different ways that y'all serve your husband. If you're not already, please subscribe, because we're growing and I'm excited for more videos, and I want you guys to be around for those. So thank you guys. I hope y'all have a really blessed day. As always, I will link my email address down below if you have any prayer requests regarding marriage, motherhood, life, whatever. I don't care. Leave it down below or email me and I will pray for you guys. This is just so much fun. I have so much joy in my heart right now. Thank y'all for watching so much. I hope y'all have a blessed day.